What's up, my fellow fragrance lovers? Today I'd like to start off with a crazy little story. I've got a notebook that I keep all of my research in, all my notes on fragrances and stuff. And the first 3 pages of this notebook are, front and back, are all of my subscribers' requests. Now, I got home yesterday from work, and I found my notebook chewed to pieces all over the place. And I'm like, oh no. But as I got in the house a little further, I seen 3 pages sitting on top of each other in the center of the room, and what do you know? It was my 3 pages of subscribers' requests. Now, that's crazy. I don't know how they made it, but not one bite out of them, nothing. So, I still have all your requests, so that's great. They'll be coming soon. But as for today, I'm here to give you my take on John Varvatos Vintage, brought to us in 2006. Now, I got this in a trade from John Kerosene, which I'm much thankful for, man, because I love this house. I really adore this house. I love everything that has come out of it. So I was very happy to get this. Now, let's start off with the rundown of the notes at the top of this. We have got rhubarb, quince, absinthe, spicy notes. In the middle, we've got lavender, cinnamon leaf, jasmine, orris, and fir balsam. And at the base, we've got patchouli, oak moss, tonka bean, and tobacco. Now, as far as what I get out of this is just a little piece of heaven, man. You get the rhubarb, you get the spices, you get herbs, you get the tobacco, and not one of these notes is overbearing. The rhubarb definitely is the dominant note, which is great because it just smells. It's just a great smell. And this fragrance is definitely warm and smooth and sweet and rich, but it's definitely not overly sweet. Everything is done just right, I think. It hasn't become cloying to me at all. Just rather pleasant. Now, as far as projection goes, when this thing is doing its job, projection is great. Doesn't sit close to the skin. It's not too loud, just perfect. But this is a crazy little devil, just like the original, and just like Burberry London. It's hard to figure out the longevity on this because the wonderful notes in this go into hiding, and then they come back, and then they go into hiding, and then they come back. You know, it's just crazy. It's hard to figure out. I used to think that it was due to the heat. Like if it was cold, these notes would go into hiding, and if they warmed up, that they would come back out. But I think a little bit differently now, because a couple of things have happened over the past few days. The first thing that happened was I was at work, and when this fragrance, when those wonderful notes aren't there and they're hiding, all that I'm left with is a stale, musty smell. And as soon as I exhale some hot air onto my body where the fragrance is, those wonderful notes just come back. Just like that, just like brand new. So I was going to show a guy at work this because I was in that stale, musty phase of the scent. And I took a hairdryer and I was warming my arm up, and I got done and I went to sniff it. Nothing. It was still stale and musty. So right away it clicked. It must not be the heat. It must be the humidity when I was exhaling that livened these oils up and made them come back to life. And another thing that kind of validates that was today. I have the air conditioning on at home, so there's no humidity inside the house. But outside, it's not necessarily a hot day. It's not real hot out, but the humidity is up. So I noticed today that inside the house, this fragrance, those wonderful notes would hide. But as soon as I went outside to run an errand or do something, they would come back. And like I said, it's not hot out, it's just humid out. So I think it's the humidity that wakens and livens those wonderful notes back up. You know, I think that's what it is. You know, I'm pretty sure that's what it's got to be. So it's kind of hard to figure out how long this thing actually lasts because it just keeps hiding and coming back and hiding. Like, I've actually had it where the first time I got this, I sprayed it on my upper arm just to see what it smelled like. And the next day, I got up, showered, I went to work. I'm wearing a different fragrance, to test out, to do another review. And during that day at work that night, I'm working, and I'm working up a sweat. I'm working hard. And all I could smell was this. It was a good 24 hours later, and that fragrance was nice and lively, coming back to life on my skin. So I really have no idea how long this thing lasts for. But I think if it wouldn't go into hiding, I think it would last for a long, long time. This scent, I believe, would be so awesome for in the fall and in the winter time. But for me, I just don't think that this will work. I think the cold and the lack of humidity would just kill this. All I would be left with is that stale, musty smell, which I don't find very appealing. Now, to me, it seems that this one would be perfect on days like today, where it's probably about like 70 out, and the humidity is a little up, and it just keeps this fragrance active. So for me, I picture, if I ever get a Harley someday, this would be a great day. Put your leather coat on, spray some of this on, go for a ride on the bike. Spend the day doing that. Perfect for that. That's what I picture in mind. Okay, as far as the women at work go, this thing was compliments across the board, and they were really good compliments too. I got stuff like manly and rugged and sexual, and I had this one lady say that actually smelled too manly. And I'm like, too manly? What? But she's actually admitted to me in her past that she likes more citrus aquatic type scents, so this one just kind of threw her for a loop. I actually was doing a test today too. I wore the vintage on this arm and the original on this arm just to see if they both would react the same, which they did. Originally when I was sampling this house, I liked this one the best. I wanted to get this. But I went home, did some research, and a lot of people out there were saying, go with the original, it's much better. But as it turns out, my taste, for me, I was correct. I like this one just a little bit better. Now, in my review of the original John Varvatos, I had mentioned how a lady has said that it smelled like tanning lotion, which I can see now. It smells like a really good kind of tanning lotion, though. Don't get me wrong, I still love it. But I do prefer this one just a little bit more. It's a little more darker, a little more rugged, a little bit more masculine. But as far as what Amanda thinks about this one, I was kind of shocked by her reaction, because she loved this one and she loved it a lot. I was standing by her one day and she was giving me those eyes, and she looked at me and she was like, damn, there's just something sexual about it. I was like, really? It's like, holy smokes. So she really liked this one, so that's great. That's great for me in my world, because I love this thing and it is going to stay around. But anyways, guys, that is my take on John Varvatos Vintage. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you soon.